Good morning. Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I am here to share the guidance for this week ahead, starting Monday the 11th of October through till Sunday the 17th of October. So I'm coming to you on the Tuesday today. Yesterday was just a bit of a really strange day. So today is a new day and I'm here. The sun has risen. There's not really a breath of wind and I'm here. So very happy to be here. So I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you now live from Tasmania, Australia, in southern Tasmania, near Hobart, and it is Tuesday today, the 12th of October, and the time is 7:53 a.m. So if you're new to watching, welcome. Please let us know if you're new. What I'm going to be doing is using my card decks here that I've made. There is two decks combined. We have the Speed of Light Oracle cards and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These have been combined to make a 110 card deck, and I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. Even though it's Tuesday for me, it's very early Tuesday. A lot of you are still in Monday, and I think it'd be good to pull some cards for Monday as well, especially because I've already travelled through and some of us have 24 hours or so into or past Monday, or through. I don't know what the right word is. Anyway, welcome. I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared will support you at this time. As always, please take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily, what resonates, and let the rest go. Please, I encourage you to think of this as a guide only. Let's see. So while I'm shuffling, a reflection on last week's theme, which was the same theme as the week before, funnily enough. It was projection. It was all about staying focused and doing our best not to let ourselves be distracted by the chaos or the drama that's unfolding around us or outside us. Also, with the projection card, there is some emphasis too around our vision for our future. And it might be our vision for the rest of the year. It may be for 2022. It may be our vision even further on into the coming years of our life. And this has been something I've noticed has been coming up for a lot of people in these last couple of weeks. So it's a new week, it's a new day. Let's see what the cards have to say for this week ahead. So I trust that everyone's well, and thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, so I'm holding the intention now that I want to find the best cards for this week ahead, starting Monday the 11th of October through till Sunday the 17th of October. And I'm looking for the best cards that the majority of us need this week. And okay, we're ready now. We've got these, so I'm going to lay them face down here in front of me. Just excuse the top of my head for a second. Okay, so we've actually got a lot of cards up, and most of them are Speed of Light. We've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 Speed of Light and 3 Animal Kingdom. And there's probably also some featured cards, I don't know. Let's turn them over and see what we've got. Ah, yes. Yes, that makes sense. All right. Okay, we have one featured card, which is Sensuality. So it has further instructions here, which say to breathe deeply and choose a random card. So I'm fanning, I'm not thinking about it, I'm just going for this. Prayer. So I'm going to put this with Sensuality, and this is for much later in the week. So we've got lots of other cards to talk about first. And interesting, these are the 3 cards coming up for early in the week. So Monday and maybe into Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday for some of us. We've got these 3 cards, which are very interesting. So this one came up first, so we're going to talk about this one first up. This is for early in the week, so see how this fits for you. Card 34, Healed. It says, a golden light wounds, dissolve, and blocks. So this is about the physical healing that our body needs, especially Monday, but maybe into Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday. It may have even overflown from Sunday. So we could also include Sunday really in this, although a lot of us are now out of Sunday. But this is very much about the physical healing, the physical rest, the physical energetic boost that our body needs early in the week. So we've been reminded to nurture our body, to look after it, and also perhaps to work with energy if that's something that you perhaps resonate with. You may want to use your healing hands to activate. So all you have to do is ask your hands to fill up with healing light, and then you might start feeling a bit of heat or tingling in your palms, and then you can place your hands on your body if that's something that you resonate with. Or for you it may be rest, it may be eating some wholesome foods or something that your body helps nourish your body. So that's for Monday especially, but especially early in the week. We've also got these two cards for the same thing, so for the same time period. So let's talk about the shadow first. Card 36. 36. Oh, and I've just realised something, because these are from different decks. These are both card 34. So actually let's talk about the frog here. So we've got the 34s coming up together, which is also like a synchronicity. So that's also just confirming this connection. We've got the frog. And the frog says to cleanse your environment. So this is about our inner environment and perhaps our outer environment. And we're being encouraged to clear and purge and look at what needs shifting, especially any toxic energy, which I did talk about in last week's video, clearing that toxicity. So this feels to be important too for some of us. And I know actually it's quite interesting to me thinking about this card because I've just done a big clean-up in the house because I've been up since 2. I can't really sleep right now for some weird reason. So I really felt like doing some just general household cleaning and chores. So I've already been tapping into this energy. It is Tuesday morning here. So for you, maybe Monday and into Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday, you might also feel this urge when you're not resting, when you're not letting your body heal. You might find as you're coming out of it that you have this bit of an urge to clear and cleanse, maybe shower or bathe too, a little bit more consciously or in a bit more of a focused way. And what I mean by that is imagining the water as you shower, washing over your body and carrying away all the toxicity, all the negativity, all the stuff that you've been holding on to, or that's changing, because a lot's been changing in this last, in quite a long time, but I feel especially in this last week, there has been a lot changing for us personally. And I noticed last week for me, I had a lot of things finish last week. A lot of things that were going for months just stopped. It was all seemed to point to or end in the same week. So as those doors close, I sort of feel this week already that there is a shift and a cleanse as new energy starts to come in for me personally. So trust in that urge that you might have, or that feeling to cleanse and to clear and to purge stuff that you've been holding inside, mentally, emotionally, purging physically, but also in the area environment around you. And as I'm saying this, my frog, I have to show you now I've set it. Hold on. I can't tease you with my froggy and not show you because this was just staring at me from behind you. My frog totem pole thing that I made out of terracotta. So he's going to go on a totem pole for a group thing. But he's sitting here like right behind where I'm looking at the camera. So I had to get him because that frog energy is quite strong. So beautiful. Now also for early in the week, my goodness, I feel like I'm going to be here for hours. We have the shadow. Now this isn't card 34 because the 2 spots are taken, but this is card 36. And it's the shadow. the shadow has come up a fair amount, sort of often in these last few videos. It says shape-shifting, hidden, release, and raven. So release, I highlighted there. Release, which is pretty much the same as healing, letting our body heal of wounds or whatever it's going on for our body, but also cleansing, purging. It's also a form of release. So we've got really a third card here in this group that is highlighting this need to release. Release the pressure that we might feel that we're under. I know for me yesterday, because, you know, I have a responsibility, a personal responsibility, not an obligation, but just a personal responsibility to bring this video out to those of you interested every Monday. And so when I actually sat down here to do it, and it was windy and cold, and I was tired and heavy and exhausted, and I just felt agitated. I didn't want to sit in front of the camera, so I had to trust that feeling and allow myself to move through it. So this releasing energy, allowing, I think there's a feeling here of allowing it to be okay, to let us move through things that we need to move through. And it might be a shadowy energy too, coming up early in the week, but this is a shifting card. So, you know, even though the shadowy, the fear or the agitation may surface for us early in the week, there is also light that comes into this card. So it shows the energy shifting if we allow it to. And really the key to that is cleansing and clearing and purging and releasing. Because if we hold on to that space, if we wallow in it, then it's not going to move, and the light is not going to come into that darkness or that dark space, because we're holding ourselves in a stagnant energy. So the key to releasing and letting things shift and letting the light come in is to let the energy move. To let the energy move is to feel our way through it and to release and cleanse and purge and all that sort of stuff. So there is energy moving early this week, even though we might feel a bit heavy and a little stuck. So that's just the first couple of days. And I've still got lots of cards here. So as we move on from there, so as that passes, that may pass for us in a couple of hours. It may pass for us in 3 or 4 days. So I feel like as that passes is what I want to talk about next. Now, so as that passes, this could be Monday, later Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for some of us. And it really feels like it's as that energy moves out, like a storm that's passing through. So as that passes out, the key being releasing, cleansing, purging, letting the energy move, then there is this new energy that's coming in, and we've got 27, risk-taking. And it says journey, unknown, beginnings, and confidence. So this is about taking a risk and following our heart and opening a new door, or the beginnings of opening a new door, the potential of opening a new door. There's a feeling of putting in applications, making phone calls, having an idea that we sort of take to that next level. Maybe we write a bit of a plan and see if this is worth pursuing. So there feels to be the very beginning stages of a new beginning or a new door that wants to open. So it's like the seed. The seed hasn't really sprouted yet, but we may have maybe collected seeds from our recent harvest, and we've collected the seeds from the fruits or the seeds that these plants have created, that we've worked hard and we've nourished and we've cared for, and we've enjoyed the fruits of that labour recently, and then that season has passed, and now we've got this little bag of seeds. So it feels as this heavier energy moves, it's like we start thinking about, where do we want to plant this seed? So we might seriously be considering, you know, the area of our life that we want to put this seed in. How are we going to make this happen? Is this something we want in our life? These very, very like pre-beginning stages is the feeling here. So what we've been encouraged to consider with this card is taking a risk and following our heart. So we might want to, you know, put that seed down in the ground. We may want to water it and nurture it and care for it and see what happens with this seed, see what it's going to turn into. It may not turn into anything much, but it may turn into something amazing. And I feel like this is the pull for a lot of us in planting this seed. Why don't we just have a go? Why don't we have a try? Why don't we just see what happens and see what might come of planting this seed. So it feels exciting, and it feels like there is an element of the unknown before us, but at the same time it doesn't feel like it comes into the equation at all. It's more like the feeling or the potential, the thought of this new thing that we're considering planting in our life. And then, so once all that energy shifts through, and actually we're going to go back. So we've got that big stormy energy moving out, and then backing behind that is this new seeds, this very beginning new energy that I just talked about. And then I'm going to go back now. So we're back into sort of the swing of the energies, the feel, or moving back. So Wednesday what? The 13th, we have card 28 called Delegate. And it says ask, plan, organise and assistance. So on Wednesday especially, it feels like some of us might feel like we're under pressure or under some sort of stress. Sometimes this is the pressure we put on ourselves, and sometimes the pressure comes to us or on us from other people or other things that we've got going on in our life. So what we're being encouraged to do on Wednesday especially is, if we do feel pressured or under pressure, let's consider delegating chores, asking for help, and thinking about really getting organised with how we spend our time and how we're going to move forward from here. There might be a need to look at the things that we feel under pressure about, and maybe there are some things that need to change in those areas, or some doors that need to close. So that's something for us to, I feel, personally consider. But let's ask for help if we need it. Let's delegate chores, but especially let's get organised, especially Wednesday. And Wednesday feels like a great day to get organised. On Thursday, we have the Tiger Claw, card 40. And the Tiger Claw says to stand your ground, speak up, take action, and find courage. This is a very assertive card. So this is about sort of getting our claws into something, especially if the air's been feeling stale or been feeling heavy in some area of our life, you know, where there's unfinished business, or we've got issues or a bit of an elephant in the room that no one's talking about. We might find that we just need to sort of speak up and take action on that, especially around Thursday. So taking action, clearing the air, and tapping into this assertive energy may be important for some of us. So it feels kind of fierce energy that wants to come in. Even, you know, with the Delegate card and that pressure and that stress energy that I talked about, you know, it doesn't feel dissimilar to the Tiger Claw. So it feels like Wednesday and Thursday, potentially a bit of an assertive energy, where it'd be a great time to take action, to clear the air, to find courage to do things, to get organised, to ask for help, this sort of thing. We might put ourselves out there a little bit more than we tend to do. So we might speak up in an area that we tend to be quiet on. We may, that sort of thing is what I'm feeling. Right. Now Friday, this card sits on its own for Friday, which means we have 5 cards for the weekend, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is Friday the 15th, and we have the Black Panther, card 30. It says to find acceptance. Find acceptance on Friday. And it feels like a simple thing to think about. So if things feel complicated, if things feel out of control, if things feel like they're just not really happening very well or very smoothly around Friday, it might be just simply important for us to just simply sit down and ask ourselves, what are we not accepting about this situation? What are we not accepting about this person? And how might we be able to find an acceptance if that's important to us? And acceptance helps us be able to heal and move on. And to me, I find acceptance much more helpful than forgiveness. Forgiveness tends to be a bit airy to me and not practical enough for my liking. So for me, instead of asking myself, who do I need to forgive or whatever, as you can see, I don't really hold a lot of respect for that energy of forgiveness, but I don't hold any judgment towards you. If you feel that way, that's totally fine. For me, it just feels not practical enough. It doesn't feel real enough. And I don't find it helpful enough for me when I'm doing my healing, when I'm releasing, moving forward, or anything. To me, there is something more substantial and helpful and productive about the energy of acceptance. So for me, I'd be sitting in whatever I'm feeling on Friday and really considering what do I need to consider accepting about this situation. Maybe there's a person that I'm just struggling with, and I might need to consider, how can I accept this person for who they are? How can I accept myself for who I am? This type of thing. So it feels quite simple that whatever is potentially coming up on Friday for us, to really consider where does acceptance fit in, and it might be worth looking at the opposite. What am I not accepting here? And how might it help me with my healing or moving forward or in this situation to find acceptance? So simply the message here from the Black Panther is to find acceptance on Friday. All right. The weekend. Okay, so what I'm looking at already from the 5 cards, there's a lot of energy here around family energy, children energy as well. That's coming up. There is definitely a lot of connections with people. We've got relationships, we've got family, we have the child energy too, all in 3 different cards for the weekend. So just as an overview, I see this energy quite strong for some of us, where there might be gatherings or get-togethers or an interaction of some sort that's maybe different from the everyday, connected with family, extended family, maybe even friendships, relationships, and children energy. So that this is strong. So it's coming in first. I want to bunch at the moment all of these cards into the weekend itself. So Saturday 16th, Sunday the 17th of October. And we start with this card 7, the elephant. And the elephant talks about family commitment. So this is a part of that family energy I'm talking about. So I've already covered that. I don't know that I need to talk about that much more now. But another element of this card too is moving at a steady pace, a steady, solid, stable pace for ourselves in our life. So we might find, especially as we start the weekend, that we're sort of finding our feet, finding our bearings, and finding the pace that works for us and how our body feels, especially early in the weekend as we step forward there. So there is movement, there is walking here too. And then also for the weekend, we have these 2 cards. So we've got the featured card with the extra. So we'll talk about the main card here first, and then I'll cover the other one. This is card 46, Sensuality. And it says love, breath, relationship, and passion. This is certainly highlighting relationship energy, especially close connections we have with others. So this may be our partner, our lover, or a close friendship that we have, that we feel a special bond with this person. This is also for us personally. This is about breathing life into ourselves again, especially after a period of feeling deflated or feeling flat and stagnant, like all the air has been drained out of us if we were a balloon. And this card's about, reinflating ourselves again, to blow air, life force back into our body and into our emotional and mental state, but also into our life. So there's a revival feeling here. There is a feeling of tapping into life again, life force. And it comes up with this card. So we'll look at it on its own, then we'll look at their relationship together. It's card 2 called Prayer, and it says ask, help, answers, improvement. So this is about asking for help and trusting that things are improving for us. So perhaps for you, some of you who are connecting, maybe you've been asking for an improvement in your closest relationship, especially lover, partner sort of energy. So if you've been asking for improvement and asking for help, then this energy is around very strongly for the weekend. So it might be worth working with that energy by looking at how you can spend time together, this sort of thing, especially on this weekend. But it feels like an answered prayer too in regards to reinflating ourselves with life again and feeling a sense of purpose, feeling that we are here living, we're not just existing. So this feels like an answered prayer that's coming. Now, if we feel a bit flat with this, we may need to ask for help. We may need to hold an intention in our heart that we want life back, that we're sick of just surviving, that we want to thrive and we want to live. So if we're getting sort of fed up with that robotic state and that feeling of feeling lifeless, then we may want to, and we may find the weekend very favourable to ask for help with this. So it may be reaching out to someone and asking for help, someone that you see living and thriving. What's your secret? What can you tell me about living this way? This sort of thing. You may want to ask for help. You may want to ask your spiritual team, your loved ones in spirit, the universe, send out a prayer of intention, asking for help to help you find a reason for living. Because if there's no reason for living, then we're not going to really care about life. We're not really going to care about our relationships with our family, our children, our friends, our lover, our partner. So finding and feeling a revival of life feels to be important for this weekend coming. And the energy is very favourable for it. So it's going to be up to us, really, to get out of our own way and stop dwelling on the wallowing of, feeling lifeless, and to really think about how we can turn things around for ourselves now. We've also got in the middle of this weekend, there's so many cards here. I feel like I've already been talking for an hour. We have Harmony, card 43, and Harmony says sound, tuned in, expression, music, and song. So a key here to helping us feel life again and thriving again and just feeling like there's a purpose to our living right now. A key for some of us is probably going to be with music, with song. So filling up our weekend with music and song that uplifts us and helps us feel good may be really important. There is a balance with this card, and it's like tuning in, like when we're tuning a musical instrument and it's either tuned in or it's flat or it's sharp, so we've got to tap on the tuning, we've got to change our tuning slide or whatever the instrument is to get back into tune again. And there is a key here with this, especially around mid-weekend, later Saturday, early Sunday. It feels to be a time of tuning back in, of recalibrating ourselves. Some of us may find music helpful for that, so we can tune into that music, which then tunes us into a balance, into a harmony that's there. For some of us, it may be our family time, our time with other people. It may be time in nature. It may be time meditating and just sitting in a quiet place with ourselves. So that's harmony, which is balance, music, that sort of thing. Then the last card out of all of these is card 18, called New Pathways. It says options, children, birth, choice, and life's path. Interesting. So this highlights that energy of children, which I talked about before, but this also, perhaps more especially, talks about new pathways, new options, opportunities before us. Life calling us forward into options and pathways and tracks and places and options that we can take potentially. And it might be something, it feels like an internal shift within us, a shift back into life, instead of feeling like we're on the outside of life and life is just happening and we're just some robot having this very mundane or very difficult life right now. There feels to be like, instead of standing on the outer edges of life, to actually step into life again. That's what I'm feeling with this card. So the pathways feel like they exist within us. And what is being encouraged here is that we get back into alignment with ourselves, which, comes back to this card, this tuning in, this balance of sort of energy. As we feel that, we might feel more aligned with ourselves, feel more plugged in, tuned in, turned on, to be able to see the options and see our path before us. Because if we're out on the outskirts of our path and our life, it's very difficult to feel a part of life or feel enthusiastic or motivated about it. So this really is a motivation to bring us back to ourselves and see the options that are potentially there for us. So new pathways opening up, especially in regards to our life's path. But it's internal. So it's unlikely, although it might happen for some, it's unlikely this will show up in our, as things coming up in our life, as, say, things happening or that sort of thing. It feels very internal. So an internal space of an alignment will then help us access those new pathways. So I trust that makes some sense. And we have got a whopper of a week coming up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the theme card is. So see how this fits for you. And as I said before, take on board what resonates and what feels right. And you won't really know until you get into your week to see how things fit and what things are meaning for you in these messages. So that's, where it counts. Don't take my word for it. See what happens in your life and how these things apply. And I'm assuming this is why you come back week after week, because things in the guidance make sense as you're living your week. And that is a great thing. So it feels good to me to be able to offer this guidance to you, and hopefully you can take little snippets of it to help you in your life on the ground at ground zero when you're going through your things. So I'm going to pull the theme card in just a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So coming up in probably an hour. Oh, half an hour. My goodness, I've been here for ages. Okay, coming up in half an hour, I will be live streaming privately, though, our healing event, our monthly healing event for Pillar of Light members. So I look forward to connecting with you guys in our private Facebook group. In half an hour, I have to go and quickly have breakfast, or I'll have breakfast later, it doesn't matter. So I'll connect with you guys then. If you want to enjoy that healing connection, it's probably a bit late now, probably wouldn't see you join in the next half hour, but it is happening again next month, and you can come back to the replay if you're interested. So please consider becoming a Pillar of Light member if you're inspired to connect with my work more deeply, and there are resources too that you can connect with. So please check it out if you're interested. And also by being a member, you're also supporting my work, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I trust it's balanced out too really well with all the great resources that I create for members. My next online art class is in a couple of weeks on Saturday, the 6th of November. And we're going to cover the theme reality versus perception. So that's going to be very interesting. I keep thinking tea leaves. So I might even do a tea leaf reading between now and then. But I'm thinking of something abstract, that seeing what we perceive and what we see in these abstract things. And if you want to learn more about my cards or my necklaces that I create, or anything that's going on at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Right, let's see. What will the theme card be? There is a small, very, very small chance it could be the same card as last week, because that card hasn't come out. The same card as the last 2 weeks, the theme, but it will likely be something else. But whatever it is, I trust it will be what we need. So I'm looking for the best card for the theme for this week ahead, Monday through till Sunday, the 17th of October. There is a lot of energy. It's jam-packed here. So, keeping our balance, staying grounded and keeping perspective will probably be really important, so we're not bombarded with all this energy that's coming at us or that we're feeling inside. So the best card for the majority of us for the theme is this. Well, it's not the same card as last week, because this is a different deck. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. Ah, yes! This is the most powerful card in the whole deck. It's the Spirit Dragon. So there's 5 dragons in this deck. 5 elemental dragons, and our Spirit Dragon is like the king, the queen. It's at the top. It's the highest vibrating card in this whole deck. So this is very interesting, and it shows a really uplifting and very big potential for this week ahead. It might mean that we deal with some pretty serious things, or things that impact us quite seriously. Quite important things this week, but these are going to be important things for our future, or for our health, or for moving forward. Anyway, it is card 26, and it's the Spirit Dragon, and it says heightened energy. Heightened energy. So that really amplifies everything I've talked about this week. So everything I've talked about, which is pretty intense as it is, we can sort of double or triple that amplification. So family get-togethers, gatherings of people on the weekend, amplified. Getting back into feeling life again, feeling like we're, a part of life again, amplified. Cleansing, that shadowy energy, healing our body, amplified. New beginnings, planting those seeds, amplified. Asking for help, getting organised, taking the pressure off ourselves, amplified. Assertive energy, amplified. Oh, here comes the cat. Speaking of amplified. And acceptance, amplified. So this is a very uplifting card to have. It amplifies everything, but it brings an intensity. So, it might not be, smooth sailing quite this week, which we already knew. So this brings that heightened energy for us to tap into. A great week as well to tap into our spiritual interests, meditate, this sort of thing, whatever we sort of practice spiritually to enhance our connections may be important. And in fact, it feels like a general sense of connection is quite high this week. So we might feel quite plugged in and connected, which is interesting because we might also feel the opposite when we're in a lower space, like for me yesterday. Totally. Although I did have, in all fairness to myself, I did have 8 hours of computer work because I was working from 4 a.m. till noon, computer, and then my energy's just zonked out. I just felt totally like someone just pulled the carpet out from under me, and I just had to stop and rest for the rest of the day pretty much. But I did also get a lot done. So we might feel in our low points completely unplugged. But it's probably from those low points that then accelerates us or pushes us into that feeling plugged. So there's a great sense of feeling plugged in, connected this week, but we also might find some, maybe quite jolting unplugs as well. But, this is sort of, it's almost a duality actually, isn't it? A light and dark energy that might play out, this plugged in and unplugged feeling. But in general, plugged in. So, exciting. Very exciting for our week ahead. So thanks, guys. I have to go. I've got to go and get ready for this healing event, which I might do right here because it's a beautiful morning. So I look forward to connecting with Pillar of Light members in half an hour or less over in our Pillar of Light private Facebook group. See you there. And, take care of yourself. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. And I will be back to connect with you very, very soon. Take care of yourself and namaste. Bye.